Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about occipital bone, and here at the side you can see the diagrammatic representation of cranial cavity, showing the highlighted area that is occipital bone, and you can also see the posterior view of cranium or skull with the highlighted area that is occipital bone for the reference. So let's start our topic with introduction. Occipital bone is a large trapezoid shaped bone located at the back and base of skull. It plays a crucial role in forming the posterior part of cranium, the floor of cranial cavity, and foramen magnum, which allow the spinal cord to connect to the brain. Occipital bone protects the cerebellum and occipital lobes of brain and provides attachment site for several muscles and ligaments. Location and architecture of occipital bone. This occipital bone is situated in the posterior inferior part of skull. It articulates with several other cranial bones, including parietal bone through the lambdoid suture. It articulates with the temporal bone on both sides. At the squamous suture, it articulates with the sphenoid bones anteriorly at the base, and it articulates with the atlas, that is C1 vertebra, through the occipital condyles. These articulations contribute to the structure and movement of the head and neck. Next, we will talk about parts of occipital bone. Occipital bone is divided into four distinct parts arranged around the foramen magnum, that is a large opening for the spinal cord. First part is squamous part or posterior part. Second part is basilar part, that is present anterior to foramen magnum. Third part is lateral part, that is present side at the sides of foramen magnum. Now let's talk about these parts one by one. First we have squamous part or posterior part. It is located above the foramen magnum. It is broad and curved. It forms the back of skull, as you can see here in the diagram. It has features like external occipital protuberance, that is also called as inion, and nuchal lines for muscle attachment. Next part of occipital bone is basilar part, that is present anterior to foramen magnum. It lies in front of foramen magnum. It joins with the sphenoid bone to form the base of skull. It contains the clevis, that is a sloping area that supports the brainstem. Next part of occipital bone is lateral part, that is present side to foramen magnum. Each side contains an occipital condyle which articulates with the first cervical vertebra. It houses the hypoglossal canal for hypoglossal nerve, that is cranial nerve number 12. It includes a jugular notch that contributes to the formation of jugular foramen. Now let's talk about key landmark and features of occipital bone. First landmark is foramen magnum, that is a large opening through which the brainstem connects to the spinal cord. Second landmark is occipital condyle, that is smooth oval-shaped projection that articulates with atlas for noding motion. Third feature is external occipital protuberance, that is a midline bump on the posterior surface that is easily felt through the skin. Next is nuchal line, that is ridges that serve as an attachment point for muscle attachment, like superior, inferior, and sometimes highest nuchal lines are there. Next is internal occipital crest and protuberance, that is inside the cranium. These structures serve as attachment site for phallic cerebri and tentorium cerebelli. Development and ossification of occipital bone. Occipital bone develops from both membranous and cartilaginous ossification center. It has a squamous part, that is upper portion, that develops through intramembranous ossification, and the basilar and lateral parts of occipital bone develop through endochondral ossification. Ossification begins during the 8th week of fetal development and completes by age 6 to 8 years when the various parts fuse. Functions of occipital bone. First, occipital bone serves the multiple essential functions. The first is protection. It is a shield the occipital lobe and cerebellum. Second is spore, as it forms part of cranial base and support the head's posterior. Third is movement, as occipital condyle allow flexion and extension of head, that is nodding movement. Next is passageway, as the foramen magnum allow vital structure like the spinal cord and vertebral arteries to pass. Clinical significance of occipital bone. First, occipital fracture. It can result from blunt trauma. It is serious if the foramen magnum or brainstem is involved. Second significance is occipital neuralgia, that is chronic pain in the occipital region, often caused by irritation or compression of occipital nerve. Third is basilar invagination. That is a condition where the basilar part of occipital bone projects normally into the foramen magnum, potentially compressing the brainstem. Next is cranial cari malformation. That is when part of cerebellum protrudes through the foramen magnum due to underdevelopment of the occipital bone. It's called a sclerae malformation. Now let's talk about conclusion of this lecture video. Occipital bone is an integral part of skull forming the back and base of the cranium. Its foramen magnum, occipital condyles, and external landmarks play a vital role in brain protection, head movement, and structural integrity. Understanding the anatomy and function of this bone is crucial for students of anatomy, medicine, and related health sciences. And this was all about occipital bone. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching.